What's up, Internet? This is the Too Long Didn't Read for my new book, Uncertainty: How the Latest Science and Technology Confirm the Bible is True. This story is called Partly Cloudy Brainstorms. The important lesson we learned from Gary Klein's research in the previous story is that we can consciously influence what we believe with education. Consciously eliminating false anchors from our lives leads to better outcomes in our future. The challenge for us is that our subconscious minds have just as much influence on what we believe, if not more. And that's because our brains use a reward system to learn, just like digital neural networks. Digital neural networks learn in three main ways: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is the best strategy for training autonomous drones, teaching robots to pick up things with their hands, managing investment portfolios, and learning to play games like chess and Go better than humans. Reinforcement learning is how we learn too. When a toddler bumps their head on a table, they stop doing that. When a baby tastes cake, they cry for more. When our friends make fun of our clothes, we stop wearing them. Each time we take input from our environment, it changes the weights in our neural network. We can't avoid reinforcement learning just like we can't avoid our own imagination. So if you're alive, then your brain is reinforcing your neural network with rewards right now for understanding this sentence. And if you're digital, your brain is also reinforcing your neural network with rewards right now for understanding this sentence. Now, there are more than 100 distinct neurotransmitters, so we aren't going to itemize them all. Here's a list of the happy neurotransmitters because they are the ones we crave the most: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin, GABA, and endocannabinoids. You can pause if you want to read what each one of these things do to us: cocaine, methamphetamine, MDMA, benzos, and cannabis. At Christians. The King James Bible translates one of the fruits of the flesh as sorcery, but the original Greek word is pharmakia. Does that word look familiar? It's where we get the English word pharmacy. So sorcery in the Bible means drugs. Just imagine giving weed gummies to the scribes translating the King James Bible in 1611. They would probably call you a sorcerer. If you gave them magic mushrooms or LSD, they would probably burn you at the stake. Reinforcement learning puts us all at risk of becoming addicts. There are millions of people working honest jobs in our economy trying to addict people to their corporate products every single day. Now, my favorite example of this is Coca-Cola, or originally known as cocaine cola. There's also sugar in all of our foods. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all the video game companies know exactly what our brain chemistry looks like while consuming their products. From the outside, young kids doom scrolling their Instagram feeds look just like those lonely old people in casinos playing nickel slot machines, begging for their next dopamine hit. If we don't periodically fast these things out of our lives, our brains build up tolerances to the extra neurotransmitters they provide. We will need to drink more coffee, eat more sugar, and smoke more crack rock to get the same highs. Now, you may not think of yourself as an addict, so which of the following would you rather give up for 40 days in a row? Or which one scares you the most? Coffee, sugar, porn, cannabis, social media, eating meat, alcohol, television, sleeping pills, working out, video games, shopping, tobacco, gambling, your iPhone, benzos. Addictions work just like that quote from Kaiser Soze in the movie The Usual Suspects. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. So let's try an experiment together. Go a few weeks ahead in your calendar and pick any day. Create an all-day appointment that reads 40-day fast of whichever one of those things scared you the most. And if that feels too intimidating, pick 3 months from now. Just put it on your calendar as a note to your future self. The point is, you have to try. Try comes from the same word as trial. Trial yourself. You will never know just how addicted you are until you start going into withdrawals. And I know that firsthand. I have fasted almost everything I can imagine. You can pause and look through this list if you want. Fasting forces us to confront things about our past because most of our worst habits started out as ways to self-soothe the harshness of life and the fears from our uncertainty. Depending on how long we've been using our mental crutches, we may have to confront thoughts and issues that we haven't considered for years or possibly even decades. But don't fear your own attention. Get to know yourself. If you fear hunger, you should. This world is selfish and scary. If you fear poverty, you should. This world is selfish and scary. When we practice hunger and poverty on purpose, though, we become that much more resilient in life. Once we learn to live with hunger and poverty instead of against them, we learn how to thrive. I don't know how else to describe it. Fasting will give you an inner peace and a serenity in your life that you just can't acquire any other way. If you want to continue reading, up next is Braces for Your Brain. In that story, we discuss EEG neurofeedback, which allows us to re-engineer how we think. We learn about specific brain regions and the various neural network layers of our conscious minds. At Christians, we really need your support. Fundamental Frequency is a 501c3 nonprofit ministry dedicated to spreading the good news of Jesus to academics, scholars, and scientists because of their tremendous influence on all our worldviews. Their opinions directly affect our children's education, the media, national policy, and budgets for future scientific research. So please consider investing some of your tithe this year into our mission of eradicating the false doctrine of Darwinian evolution. You can donate in just one click using this QR code, and all your gifts are tax deductible. You can also help us by sharing this story with your friends on TikTok, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, WeChat, Weibo, and Qzone. See you next time.